everyone, my name is Ellen, and today let's learn how to play Imagine by John Lennon on the guitar. Here's a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this video today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so we only have 8 chords to play through this song, and we're going to go ahead and start with our C major, which looks like this and sounds like this. And by the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, make sure to check out my free beginner course right here. The next chord is our Cmaj7. After that, we have our F over C chord. Then we have our D minor chord. Next is our G major chord. Then we have our G7 chord. We also have our E major chord. And then the last chord you need to know is your E7 chord. And those are the 8 chords you need to know to play this song. So go ahead and pause the video and just take a few minutes to memorize these chord shapes as well as practice transitioning back and forth between them. It'll make learning through the rest of the song so much easier. And if transitioning fast enough between chords is something that you're struggling with right now, I would definitely recommend checking out my Practice With Me series where we go through this skill together. But once you've done that, we can go ahead and talk about the strumming. Now the first thing I would suggest doing is going through the whole song, singing through it, and doing a single down strum for every chord change, and just get used to where those chords are going to be transitioning. So here's a quick example of what that would look like. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. So just from doing those 2 lines, you can already tell that the C and the Cmaj7 chords are going to be going twice as fast, or feel like they're going twice as fast as that F over C chord. So this is all stuff that you'll figure out when you do the whole song with a single down strum practice pattern. So I would recommend doing that right now. If you would like a downloadable guide that you can print out right now and practice this with, then make sure to check out my Patreon page. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description box down below. Alright guys, so as you can see, strumming pattern 1 is super straightforward. We're just doing 4 down strums. So let's go ahead and zoom in and talk a little bit about this rhythm. Alright guys, so basically all we're doing here is doing a single down strum on every quarter note, or like beat of the measure. So we have 4 beats per measure, so you're just doing 1 down strum per beat. So if we start right at the beginning of the song, we have C to Cmaj7 to F over C. What you want to do is for the first 2 down strums, strum your C chord, 1, 2. Then I'm going to add a little vertical line here. That's going to signal to you to switch chords. So we're going to go to our Cmaj7, 3, 4. And then when you go to your F over C chord, you do this for the full measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? So all together without stopping, it goes C, Cmaj7, F over C, 2, 3, 4, repeat, C, Cmaj7, F over C. You got it. Imagine there's no heaven. Alright, so you could use this strumming pattern to play through the entire song. Because it is piano based, I think it sounds really good with it. But the place that I actually like to use this is in the choruses. We have a few places where we're going to be transitioning our chords a little faster. So you may say, I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. You can see there we go from C to Cmaj7 to E to E7. So this is where I would use strumming pattern 1 with a single down strum for each of those. So we have F over C, you may say I'm a, and then here on the word dreamer, you would do 1 down strum for each of these chords. Dreamer. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. C, Cmaj7, E, E7. All right? And that's basically the only place that I would use this first strumming pattern, because I actually like to use a second strumming pattern for the rest of the song. So let's go ahead and talk about strumming pattern 2. Alright guys, so here's strumming pattern 2. It might look a little bit more intimidating, but I promise the rhythm is very straightforward. So let's go ahead and zoom in and talk about it. Alright guys, so for this strumming pattern, we are going to be counting it with a 16th note rhythm. If you don't know what that is or don't know how to count that, make sure to check out my free beginner course because we do go over that. But basically we have 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and a. Alright, so it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and a down, 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 up, down, 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 up. All right, and just like how we talked about with strumming pattern 1, you do want to split this pattern in half on those chords that split in the middle of the measure. So for example, we have our C major chord. We're going to do the first half of this pattern, down, 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 up. Then we have our Cmaj7 chord for the rest of it, down, 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 up. Then for your F over C, you want to hold it out for the whole measure. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. All right, so without stopping, it would sound like this. C, C major 7, F over C, down, down, up, down, 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 up, C, C major 7, F over C. You just got it like that. Imagine there's no heaven. And again, you could use this through the entire song. Where I like to use it is in the pre-choruses, so let's bring that up. You would just do the pattern exactly how we just practiced with that split in the middle. So we have F over C, C, D minor, C. Then for G, you want to hold it out for the whole pattern. And then for G7, I like to do a single down strum. Alright, so with singing it would sound like this. Imagine all the people living for today. Okay, and that's basically where I like to use that strumming pattern. For the verses, there's a very iconic piano line that I've figured out kind of how to do on guitar pretty easily. So for the verses, I actually like to do a picking pattern or a tab, so let's go ahead and talk about that. Now before we jump into picking, go ahead and pause the video and just take a few minutes to practice these strumming rhythms and really get them internalized. The more you can play through them without having to think about the rhythms, the easier it'll be to add in the singing later. If you're struggling with this or anything else we've covered in this video so far, transitions, chord shapes, strumming, rhythm, anything like that, you can always send me a video clip of you practicing your guitar or asking me whatever questions you have, and I will send you a response back. That is just one of the perks that I offer through my Patreon page. So I would definitely recommend taking a few minutes to check that out if you're interested. I'll make sure to link it down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the picking pattern. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have the tab of how to do this picking pattern on screen. But first of all, if you're unfamiliar with how to read tabs, I did make a video on how to read guitar tabs right here, so make sure to check that out first and then come back. But once you know how to read tabs, let's go ahead and just kind of break this down. So with your left hand, you can see above the tab here, we have the chord shapes listed. So we're going to do our C, our Cmaj7, and our F over C. The thing that you might need a little more help with is your right hand. So what I want you to do is go ahead and put your C chord on your left hand. Your thumb is going to go on the root note, so that's the 3rd fret of the A. Okay, your thumb's going to stay there, and then your pointer, middle, and ring finger are going to go on the D, G, and B strings respectively. And then what you want to do is pick all 3 of those at once, and then follow it up with your thumb. All right, and we're just going to go back and forth like that. All right, once you get used to how that feels, you want to do that twice. Then we're going to go to our Cmaj7 chord, so go ahead and take off that pointer finger, and it's the same exact pattern. All right, so we go C, Cmaj7, then you go to your F over C chord on your left hand, and again, your fingers on your right hand are not moving. Same pattern. So here we're doing it 3 times, and on that 4th beat we're going to do a little kind of a frill here. So what I want you to do on your left hand is take off all your fingers except for your middle finger. And on your right hand you're going to also take your middle finger, pick that G string, and then while it's ringing, you're going to hammer on to your 3rd fret with your ring finger on that G string. Alright? Then take your ring finger on your right hand. You can pick up that open B next door. So we have hammer on, open string. Alright? So F over C, the whole thing goes like this. It can take a little getting used to, especially if you're new with, any of these techniques. So go ahead and take your time to learn that. But once you have that under your belt, the actual pattern is pretty simple. So we have C, Cmaj7, F over C, hammer on, then you just repeat it again. And then once you've repeated those 2 measures 3 times, on the 4th time, you're going to do something different with your F over C. So on the last time, you're going C, Cmaj7, then you're just going to hold your F over C chord. 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're not doing that little frill the very last time, because from there, we're going to go into the pre-chorus. Imagine all, and then that's when the strumming would come in. All right, so let's go ahead and put this picking tab through from the beginning and see how that goes with the singing. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Hold. 3, 4, and then we would go into strumming. Imagine, oh, okay? So basically, that's how I would play through that little picking kind of tab piano-like portion towards the beginning and through the verses. Of course, it is totally optional, so you could always opt to do strumming throughout the entire song instead. So go ahead and pause and practice this picking/tab portion if you want to. And then once you have that under your belt, we can play through the song. 1, 2, ready, go. Want to have fun jamming through the rest of the song with me? Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other fast track and play along guitar tutorials. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description box down below as well as in this iCard right up here. If you liked learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. It's got a really similar vibe and it's just as easy to play, so I'll see you over there. Bye!